In number 1, they want you to tell me which expression is equivalent to 16x squared minus 36. First of all, we're going to factor this by factoring a greatest common factor first. This is the difference of two perfect squares, and if you notice, like 3 or 4 kind of look like the right answer, but the greatest common factor between 16 and 36 is 4. So what we're going to do is we are going to divide both of those by the greatest common factor, and we get 4x squared minus 9. Now remember, this is the difference of two perfect squares, this binomial, so I can factor this as 2x plus 3 and 2x minus 3. That would be choice number 2. Number 2, they set this up like a quadratic equation. When you're solving a quadratic equation and you come down to these two factors, what do you normally do? You set both factors equal to 0. And then you solve for, your variable x. Therefore, choice 3 is your answer. And number 3, analysis of a data shows a linear relationship in the data with a correlation coefficient. Now, the correlation coefficient tells us how strongly two variables are related. It can't be larger than 1, and it can't be smaller than -1. If I were to use this picture to kind of talk about the correlation coefficient, this is measuring the number of video games played or hours of video games played to grade point average. As you notice, the more hours played, the lower your grade point average is. So we're going to say that this has, if we drew a line of best fit, that this has a correlation that's, it's negative because it's going down from left to right. So because we have a negative 0.524, we're gonna eliminate our choices that say positive correlation because obviously it's negative. So we're gonna eliminate choice 1 and choice 3. Now, the closer that it is to 1, the stronger that it is, because this is like, the closer that it is to -1, the stronger it is. So because it's like halfway there, it's like a 0.5. We're gonna say it's a moderate. Number 4 is giving you Boyle's law, which is involving gases and liquids. They just want you to, in this case, they give you the formula, which is not really used much in this course. They want you to solve for P sub 2. So if I am solving for this variable and I have to multiply, I am going to divide by V sub 2. So what I get is P sub 2 is equal to P sub 1 times V sub 1 over V sub 2. And this would come out to, it looks like, choice 3. Notice how here in the directions they wanted you to solve for P sub 2. In this case, you were given a table regarding radio stations and the types of music that they play. What percentage of college students prefer classic rock? Well, in this case, you notice that this is just a reading the table type of problem. I have 50 total college students, and I have 14 doing classic rock. So 14 out of 50 college students like classic rock. So I'm going to do 14 divided by 50. I'm going to get 0.28, and then I have to multiply it by 100 to get the percent, and I get 28%, which should be choice number 2. This question asks which function has zeros of -4 and 2. Remember, zeros are where the graph crosses the x-axis. So if we just jump right to our answer number 4, notice how we're crossing at x equals 2 and x equals -4. This is your answer.